Hey folks, welcome to This Old Kitchen. I'm Chef Jeff, and today we're going to be discussing ribs. Full racks of ribs. That's not the stuff that you get at a restaurant. We're talking the full deal here. These are St. Louis plus all the parts that come with it. This is the way it's cut off the hog. I'm going to show you the first part. That's the front part. Try to find them nicely marbled like that. It's a great way to cook ribs, and we did them last night. We had some really nice ones. This is the second rack. We're going to put in some freezer bags. Okay, there's a couple of parts to the ribs. You've got the St. Louis section, which is this whole thing. If you bend it, you're going to find it. There it is. That's the St. Louis. You got the lower skirt steak, which I pulled off last night. I don't know that everybody does this, but I pulled this off last night to smoke it, and this was a fabulous piece of meat. Unbelievable. You can cook this whole thing. You can throw this, if you got a big enough smoker or grill, boom, right on the grill it can go. Lather it up with whatever you want to do. Dry rub, wet rub, however you want to do it. But they're going to cook at different times. Something's going to be dry, something's going to be nice and tender. So my suggestion is butcher them up when you get them. And that's what we're doing here. A little bit of a rundown. This is a little thicker piece of meat called the skirt. Does or doesn't have to be removed. The membrane is here. Does or doesn't have to be removed. There's a lot of argument about whether it should or shouldn't, but either way, you're going to have great ribs. So, first thing we're going to do here, then you've got a sternum bone down here. This is a nice big chunk of what would be called regulars at a joint in Texas or something, but they're really kind of irregular. So, we've got to find the spot to cut. And the rule of thumb is bones don't bend. So if you fold it over like a bookend, you're pretty much going to find out where to cut. Take a good knife, sharp. I'm going to try a boner here, no pun intended, simply because that's what it's called. I'm just going to come along these short ribs. I'm going to cut them out. Now I separated these completely from the skirt last night, and I really think that's the way to do it. I like to cook my bone-in stuff one way and bone-out stuff the other way. So I think we're going to take that there. We're going to find our end ribs here. We're going to cut this nice skirt off too. I got to tell you, this was killer, this part. It's, to me, it looks like a skirt steak. I'm not a butcher, so I can't tell you exactly what it is, but to me, it was like a skirt steak. Get some bone here too. It's got to go. But that really is that's the section that is full of bone right there. There's not a lot of meat in that, but that's a good piece too. Don't discard any of it. It's all good. Cut down along the side till you get to the bone tips. That's it. You're going to find a few extra bones in here on this skirt. And I want to get rid of this last line. You can almost find a fat line right there. These would be considered regulars too, but I tossed them. They didn't look like they had much to them. I pretty much pull that fat line right out of there. Gone. Well, yeah, I save almost everything. Okay, we're going to get a few more of these bones out. And this is going to be a nice boneless, what I would call a skirt steak. Butcher might call it something different. I got to tell you, again, that was great. So this is our first time on this mission. We've always bought the baby backs and whatnot, and you know, St. Louis and whatnot, but I decided I'd go for the full rack and really figure it out. And I won't be going back the other way anytime soon. The meat on this stuff was awesome. Okay, it's like filleting a fish. Get all the bones out. Don't cut yourself. So these are just nice, really thin. These are cartilage in here. They're not actually bones, but you want to get them out because they'll just make it tough. It's the stuff that won't melt down in your smoker. And like when I fillet a fish, I could do it a lot quicker, but I'll lose a lot of meat. So the idea is to try to keep as much meat here. And I might leave that bone right there just because I'm going to be taking a lot of fat and meat. But these they're almost like got a nice layer of fat in between. And you wind up with two gorgeous pieces of meat on top with fat in between that, you know, if you cook them long enough, and we cook our things real long. Cook these things from 1 o'clock to in the afternoon until 8 o'clock yesterday in the evening. Pulled some off, ate it, threw them back on until 11, the St. Louis, the bone part, and they could have still cooked more hours. I can actually see cooking ribs at like 200 degrees or less for 10 hours, and they are just awesome. When the bones start to protrude out at the ends, because we've shrunk back the fat, stuff just falls off the bone. Can't beat it that way. A lot of people cook them short times, 4 hours, whatever. I don't know. I don't like a lot of fat in my food, so even when I'm eating fatty food, I want to burn it all out. Leave just the meat that got basted. Yep, there you have it. That's what I would call a skirt, but somebody might call it something different. So we have that. We have our irregulars or regulars. This, when you're done with it, you'll be able to fillet a nice chunk right off the top and then just eat the meat around the bones. You have that. This is what they actually, I believe they call the skirt that you're supposed to pull off, but I didn't see any need to do that. They say it makes it too thick, doesn't cook evenly, but here the skirt is really nothing. You have there's a little bit of a tip here that's boneless. We're going to leave that on. And there's this nice little piece here. Treat, come off the grill early. Now, once again, it's the membrane idea, yes or no. I'm good at getting them off baby backs. I haven't really tried getting them off this, but I believe what you do is start on the skinny end. It's a triangular piece. You don't want to get all the fat with it. You want to get the membrane. Kind of slice that up. I didn't have a lot of luck with it yesterday, so we'll see how I do today. Okay, grab some paper towel, because you're not going to be able to hang on to this sucker. Should be able to get it in one shot if you do it right. Which is not what's happening right now. We'll try that again. It's really a matter of getting the knife under membrane. Somehow it seems that these are much thinner membrane than what is on a set of baby backs. And if this sucker don't come off easy, it's staying on, because I don't really think it's going to make much difference. We made them yesterday. They were great. I had the membrane mostly off, but again, this is a real thin membrane compared to your baby backs. Really thick. It's like a piece of plastic on a baby back. Yeah, I guess I'm going to have to go back to Anatomy 101 on this one. We'll try pulling it from the other side just for giggles, we'll say. Good handle on it. Wants to go. Doesn't want to leave easy though. Yeah, I read there was a place in Texas or wherever the hell it was. Yeah, they said, yeah, when we're selling 6 racks of ribs, yeah, we removed the membrane. And they said, after that, 300 racks a day, forget the membrane. Now I see why. But this is coming, okay? So I'm taking it from this side, the thinnest end, and voila. Yep, it's pulling just like a baby back. Be sure to keep grabbing it down low because it will tear and that'll be it. Never get it off. There we go. So this is pulling out from underneath that little skirt right there that I've been told to trim off, that I don't really see the reason why you would trim that off. Sure doesn't seem that much thicker to me. Okay, so we've got our full rack ready to go in. Basically got your St. Louis, not completely squared up, but pretty close. You know, you could leave that big flap on and cook it with it, but I'm telling you, this was done 2-3 hours before anything else. We also smoked some sausage and some boneless with it, and much nicer if you do them separately. You're going to have everything done when it's supposed to be done. That's about it for today, so we'll catch you on the next time.